Veronica, and a recent graduate that is hoping to learn the ropes of financial management. So this program is going to help me to maximize opportunities and utilize opportunities that I'm presented with in managing finances, managing my income, and knowing how to balance between income, investment, and other financial implications. So on this particular session, I hope to learn how to um, build a strong financial future, just like the topic for today says. So that's all.
Okay, great. Thank you. I don't know what guys I think
This is usual.
yeah. Yes, it's working now. Even though I love the Apple laptop. Oh, okay. Thank you, everyone, and thank you to
Good afternoon, Mr. Alex Grace.
facilitating that. Okay.
Good afternoon, Veronica. My name is
You're battling the ray of light.
My name is Alex.
Okay.
And I think this is my fifth session. So
All right.
yeah, it's been wonderful. I've been practicing some of the what I learned so far. I've been practicing and it's working, practically working for me, and I thank God for this. So someone asked me a question during the week and said, when I mentioned about stock, I'm sure you have shares. Say, well, teach me. I don't know. I say, well, Mr. Aduroja will let you know on Saturday, not me. So I guess he's going to teach us how to build a solid financial future, and this is something I'm looking forward to learning. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Coach Ben, I hope you heard that.
Okay, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Yes. Okay. 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 Great. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just trying to avoid interference. Yes. I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Please confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, ma. I can hear you.
Okay. Mr. Pascal just responded that he can hear me. So let's have one last introduction before I take the profile. I know it's 3:15. Mr. Pascal, are you ready to introduce yourself, or you just want to introduce yourself in the chat box? You can actually use the chat box to save time, because our facilitator told me he has a lot to cover. And Mr. Emmanuel, I can see you as well. You're welcome. I would just go right into the Introduction of Greatness Unleashed by Love Foundation. I hope we all can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see the screen. I can see the screen.
So our vision, Greatness Unleashed by Love Foundation's vision is to raise men and ladies of global and internal influence. And we do this through reaching out. Pardon me, hold on a second. I need to do something. So we do this by teaching, which is part of what we are doing right now. Teaching, nurturing, and reaching out to majorly those that have been abused and also the underprivileged ones, to help them believe they are unconditionally loved, help them believe that there's greatness in them, and unleash their greatness irrespective of their past and present. We reach out to orphanages, prisons, and hospitals. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you. Continue.
Because I can't see continue. Oh, great. Thank you for the response. Okay, because I was just so we are registered with Corporate Affairs Commission as Greatness Unleashed by Love Foundation, even though before then we were popularly known as Greatness Foundation, and we have held life transforming meetings in 10 tertiary institutions and done projects for some orphanages, prisons, brothels, rehabilitation centers, secondary schools, and schools for those with special disabilities in the southern, western, and eastern part of Nigeria. And I always put that disclaimer that we have nothing against the North. It's just that we are not yet led to go there. So at the tertiary institutions, when we do our projects, our programs, we equip people with skills that they can convert, empower them with skills that they can convert to make wealth. And we've done makeup training, Ankara, accessories, liquid soap, amongst all. We've also done an outreach called Feed 50 project, where we fed, the agenda was to feed at least 50 people every month, for 12 months. However, with the support of our partners and friends and families, we were able to do about 2,000 in 6 months, including roadside sellers, street hawkers, and we didn't even just stop at food alone. We went ahead to give them, groceries, and we believe that the work of rehabilitation center is not something that the government and even these non-governmental organizations can do alone. We have a sister platform called Shushan the Palace, where we prepare brides in waiting for their king and the God kind of marriage. And we do it with the support of married mentors who help us to prepare, to learn the reality of marriage versus, our expectations, so that the rate of divorce and dysfunctional homes can be reduced. Sorry. So we are, what we do, right, is in alignment with the SDGs, the Social Development Goals. SDG 1, ending poverty in all its forms everywhere, is achieved aside from the skill acquisition that we do. One of how we do that also is this financial independence workshop that has commenced since August and is running till next month. And we have amazing facilitators that have come, and even those that are, still going to join us. These are some of the practical skill acquisition programs that we have done. The second SDG is the zero hunger goal, which we have done through the Feed 50 project, and we want to upskill this to converting it to making a catering outfit available in every tertiary institution, so that at least 50 people, 50 underprivileged people, can eat for free, every month. And also use that to employ people without jobs. And of course, we use the funds to run the organization, since it's a not-for-profit organization. So these are some of the features from the Feed 50 project that we did. The next goal is the good health and well-being goal, which we do with the support of coaches like Coach Ben, therapists, counselors. And our flagship program is making sweet lemonade out of your bitter lemons, which, we believe that irrespective of any bad thing that has happened to you in life, you can actually use your pain and convert your pain to make wealth. And I've also written a book. I'm about to finish the lemonade book. Everyone that has bought my Rescued by Love book will definitely get the lemonade book when it's done. The next SDG is achieving gender equality, and our outreaches, not outreach now, more our Shusha and the Palace program and Love Sisters program is focused on girls in secondary schools and tertiary institutions. And currently, Shusha and the Palace also is focusing on building ladies and empowering them to prepare adequately for the God kind of marriage. These are some of the projects we have done. And the last but not the least is reduced inequalities. And we believe that even those people with special disabilities, inmates, those at school for the blind, they can be empowered, you know, to unleash their own greatness as well. These are some of the pictures that we've taken in orphanages, hostel institutions, strip club, and you can see some of our volunteers here, you know, supporting us to just get the work done, right? Shushan the Palace meeting, and so this lady on my right, Mrs. Toluloko, she gave birth to a bouncing baby girl 2 nights ago. I was called and I was super excited. I had to do a video, you know, to just express my joy. I remember when I met Gift, who is on my extreme left, and you know, Gift was abused as a teenager. She got a child as a teenager and lost the child. She was gang raped after that. And the beautiful part of her story right now is that she's married to a good man that has never judged or condemned her because of her past. So we did a project also for orphanage that we got a brand new washing machine, and you can see the pictures here. We'd like to connect with you on social media. Here is our social media handles, our email address as well, and we would like to have your support. I used to say that support is not limited to finances alone. Veronica is going to post the link for financial support and feedback shortly. However, you can volunteer by saying, okay, I want to be doing your graphic designer. I want to be doing your graphic design, pardon me. I want to create a website for you. I want to be paying for your Zoom. You know, you can just do something, use your skill, your experience, your advisory, anything, your skill, your knowledge, your experience, your anything that you know can make this organization better. We will appreciate it. At the end of this session, we would like to get your feedback. The link will also be posted with the link for the partnership. Please fill it. We would like to get your feedback so that we can know how to get better and also know how this program is impacting you. Thank you very much. So I'll go straight into the profile of our speaker for today, Coach Benjamin. Hold on a second. Yes. So he is the MD CEO of Cutting Edge Partners, a premier financial services firm serving individuals, families, and investors nationwide through bespoke financial advisory services. Is driven by a strong and abiding commitment to service and help his clients to succeed financially with investment planning and advice for helping them achieve their life needs and financial goals. Whatever their needs, insurance or general money matters, he provides advice beyond investment to clients. Through affiliation with other financial institutions, he has helped address aspects of their financial picture in a convenient, comprehensive manner. Today, Benjamin Aduroja is the household name, staff of several global organizations, including First Bank, Diamond Bank, Nine Mobile, Aero, Contractors, Cadbury Nigeria PLC, Nigeria Bottling Companies, Lekki Construction Company, Mama Cars Restaurant, and Daystar Christian Center, Honeywell Superfine Foods Limited, just to mention a few. He has done training. Okay, sorry, just forgive me. The thing is all modeled up. Aduroja has produced the #1 selling audio program, How to Set and Achieve Your Goals. It contains most powerful tools, strategies, and techniques that you can use immediately to achieve your goals faster and easier than ever before. He recently published his book, Funding Your Dreams, and here is an excerpt. A cherished aspiration, dreams are the blueprints of our ultimate achievement. They are an untapped potential waiting to be explored. Okay, let me just save us that time. Don't worry. I'll just go to the last part of the profile because we have 3 more minutes and I want him to cover what he has. So he's a financial coach and he's certified with he serves as a finance coach on Coach Me, the very first digital platform in Africa by Olushola Lanre Coaching Academy that provides transformational coaching at people's convenience. He is a certified life coach and emotional intelligence certified professional, an emotional intelligence freedom techniques and matrix reimprinting practitioner, a NLP practitioner, and he holds a master's degree in business administration with specialization in finance from the University of Lagos. He has, oh my God, forgive me. He is an honors graduate of economics from Olabisi Onabanjo University. Let's celebrate Mr. I like to call him Coach, Coach Benjamin Aduroja, as it takes the session on building a strong financial future. Please unmute yourself and clap and celebrate him as it takes the floor. Coach Ben, over to you, sir.
You're welcome.
Sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
People not clapping.
You're
Okay,
welcome.
now they are clapping. It's my own network that was delaying.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Our phone.
And Coach Ben, we can't hear you. Or is it my net? Oh,
Can you hear me?
I can now hear you.
Yes,
Oh.
sir.
Okay, fantastic.
You're welcome,
All
sir.
the I give God all the glory. Yes, I want to especially appreciate Coach Greatness for this invite. I would like to especially thank her for this powerful initiatives. You know, she's an embodiment of greatness indeed. Like they say in Yoruba, Orúkọ ẹ̀ ń ro. Her name is, you know, she's exemplifying the essence of her name. So I want to appreciate you, Coach Greatness. Fantastic work you're doing. I honor you. I celebrate you. And I want to appreciate everyone for deeming it fit to be a part of this session. You could have done so many other things. Your time. You chose to be a part of this session. And I want to assure you that it's going to be worth your while. We have quite a lot to share. So I'll go as far as I can go and as fast as I can go. So we're going to have a question and answer session too. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'm about to share my slides with you. I have a few slides I would like to share. So it's going to be a very practical session. Practical.
Are you able to share? Okay, fantastic. Okay.
It's going to be a very practical session.
I love practical. I like the sound of that already.
Yes, a no holds barred session. Can we all see my slide, please?
Can you see the screen? It's coming up. It says Benjamin Aduroja has started sharing screen, but I'm still loading here.
Can you see? Can you see my screen now? Can you see?
Yes, we can see it now.
Loading. Okay, yes, we can. I can.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. So we are looking at building a strong financial future. That means one could end up having a weak financial future if he or she is not careful. So we are looking at how to avoid the traps that many people fall into and end up having a weak future. So there are some things I'm going to share with you. Some of them are basic, some of them are something you've heard before, but I'm going to share them. And then some are quite different. They are new initiatives. So keep an open mind and then join me on the ride. So my name is Benjamin Aduroja, like you rightly know. I'm a financial advisor. So my basic aim is to raise wealthy men and women who are forces of positive change to the society. That's my mission in life, to raise wealthy men and women who are forces of positive change to the society. Now, I'm going to start this session. Of course, it's all about building a strong financial future. We're going to go into the figures and the like. But before then, I want to lay a background, like a foundation for what we're about to talk about. This is preambles. So the first thing we all know is that we are now in the post-COVID-19 world. It's a different ball game entirely. Like we all know, the game has changed. Things have completely changed, and some of the things that has come about as a result of this post-COVID era is that disruption is the new normal. Disruption is the new normal. We are now living in the era of disruption. Disruption in so many industries, in families, in so many things. So we're going to talk more about that in the course of this session. Then the business landscape is now global. That's one of the things COVID-19 did. It made the world flat. The COVID lockdown made the world flat. I had a session a few days ago, and I was sharing with them. I said that one of the things COVID did, or what I said initially was that I told them that anytime you want to do a reset, you want to do a reset of an engine, you want to do a reset of something, what do? You switch off the engine, right? And then you do the reset, and then you restart. You know, like some of us know, in banks, they will send you an email, routine maintenance, our services will be shut down between so and so hours. Please kindly bear with us. The other day, Paystack sent me an email saying that they wanted to do a routine maintenance, and they will be down for about 2 days. And then when they finished the maintenance, they sent me an email and said, oh, you can now use the platform. We are back. So that was what happened. I believe God he did a reset in the world. So he shut everything down and then did the reset and then he restarted. So now the world is truly flat. We are now living in a global world. I'm going to share more on the implications of this for you and for your financial future. Now, one of the implications of the world being truly global, or should I say the world now being flat, is that there's no hiding place for small players anymore. If you cannot play on the global scale, you are going to be left behind. If you do not build skills that can be globally relevant in this time and age, you'll be left behind. Now, you know that this is the world of remote work, right? That means that you can be in Dubai, you can be in Nigeria, you can be in any state of Nigeria and be working for a global organization. So there is no geographic limitations anymore. So it's now the world of remote work. Those jobs that you are competing for, those jobs you are trusting God for, people in India will also be lobbying for those jobs, applying for those jobs. People in Australia, people in California will also be lobbying for those jobs, because we now live in a truly remote world. I saw an advert yesterday on Instagram, Dubai advertising. Dubai, you know, they were advertising for professionals to come to Dubai, those who work remotely. He said, come to Dubai, we have the infrastructure, you know, you can work remotely, we'll give you everything you need, food, data, everything, we'll give everything. So someone can be in Dubai and work for a company in Nigeria. So there's no hiding place for small players anymore. That's one of the implications of the post-COVID era. Another thing it did for us is that it completely transformed our life and lifestyle. It changed our lifestyles completely. So if we are unable to key into those changes and position ourselves appropriately, we'll be left behind. So I felt that I needed to share this with you to build a basic, a solid background, because we're talking about building a solid financial future. If I don't talk about this, then I'm doing you a disservice. Now, another thing that COVID did was you are the government. Youths, we are now the government. Look at the protest going on since the Independence Day. So we are now the government. That's one of the implications of post-COVID era. We are now the government, and that's the truth. And one of the things it did was it also introduced the fourth industrial revolution. We've had 4 different industrial revolutions. We have the first revolution, we had the second revolution. I don't want to go into details because of time. We now live in COVID, the COVID lockdown introduced the fourth revolution, which is strictly online. We now live online. So that's one of the outcomes of COVID. So what I'm saying in essence is that COVID has reset the world. It reset the world, and we, in terms of our mindsets, in terms of our beliefs, we cannot afford to remain the same. There's a difference between skills, mindset, and beliefs. You can say, oh, I want to acquire some certain skills. If your mindset does not attune with the world we now live in, you might be left behind. So we need to cultivate the right mindset. Now let's move on. I want to talk about Choluteca Bridge. I saw this some months back. Maybe some of us must have seen it. Some months back. It's called Choluteca Bridge. It's located in Honduras. Honduras is located. It's located in the Americas. I think South America and the like. And we know that South America and those other places, they are susceptible to hurricane. They are susceptible to storms. Hurricane just comes and then wipes out the entire streets. It wipes out houses, wipes out roads, wipes out bridges. So the government of Honduras now invited a Japanese company, because Choluteca River is one of their main rivers in Honduras. So they now brought in an expert, experts in construction, bridge construction, to come and help them build an indestructible bridge. They called it a bridge that could withstand any kind of hurricane, no matter how severe, no matter how strong the hurricane is. So they brought in this Japanese company, and then the Japanese company, told them that they would build it. And then by 1997, the construction started in 94. By 97, it was finished. And then they launched the bridge to fanfare. Everybody was happy. Now we finally have a bridge that will not be destroyed by any hurricane. Like I said earlier, before then, the previous hurricane, the past hurricanes had destroyed, they were destroying their roads. The hurricanes were destroying their bridges. So they wanted to build an indestructible bridge. Guess what happened? A month or two after the launch of Choluteca Bridge, there was a very massive hurricane, massive, very devastating. It was destroying houses. It destroyed houses. It destroyed roads. So everybody was now keen. They wanted to know whether Choluteca Bridge will stand that hurricane, because they had told them that it was an indestructible hurricane. Guess what happened? This is the Choluteca Bridge. After the hurricane, as you can see here, before the hurricane, the river was passing under the bridge. But after the hurricane changed the course of Choluteca Bridge, from passing from under, rather than pass underneath the bridge, it was now passing beside it, right in front of the bridge. As you can see in this picture, the bridge now passes, right beside the bridge rather than under the bridge. And as we can see, the bridge indeed stood the test of time. The bridge stood. The bridge was not destroyed. But guess what happened? The hurricane rendered the bridge irrelevant. It became useless. As you can see, there was no road before and after the bridge. That meant that the hurricane destroyed the roads. But it didn't destroy, it couldn't destroy the bridge, but it made the bridge irrelevant, as we can all see. Now, why am I painting this picture? As we are building, or should I say, as we are striving to build a solid financial future, we must also be aware. We must not build a Choluteka bridge that will be made irrelevant by the hurricanes of life. Things are happening in this age. This is a volatile age. This is an unpredictable age, an age of uncertainty. So we need to be very careful how we build our financial future. Because if we build on stuff that are pre-COVID, stuff that are irrelevant, we will become like Choluteka Bridge. So the aim of this short course is to ensure that we don't become like Choluteka Bridge. Now let's move. The first thing I want to tell you in this class is that you need clarity. A lot of things have changed. There are new skills that we need to develop. We need to develop skills in machine learning, artificial intelligence, just to mention about a few, data analytics and all that. So many skills, so many skills. But we cannot afford to be running like headless chicken. We need clarity. You need clarity. I need clarity in terms of my essence, in terms of your purpose in life. If you are not clear about who you are, if you are not clear about your purpose in life, your essence, you will become like a Choluteka Bridge because you will be building on the wrong foundation. So the first thing I would advise you and I to do is we need clarity. We need to be clear. Many of us are young on this platform. We need to be clear about what we are building. Let me share this very short life experience with you. A mentor of mine went to consult for a company. It was a training. He went to do a training for one of the leading banks in Nigeria. And this training had top management of the bank. They were in the training. So it blew their minds. And then after the training, immediately after the training, one of the executive directors sought my mentor's audience. He wanted to see me in private. And then they went into one of the rooms there. And then as soon as the ED shut the door, the executive, as soon as he shut the door, he bursted into tears. He started crying. Then my mentor became fidgeted. Why are you crying, sir? The executive director said, so and so, he called his name, Dotun. Dotun is not his name, but let's use Dotun. Dotun, he was just accusing my mentor for nothing. And then my mentor is now asking, sir, can you give me details? What's happening? What's going on? And then the ED said, do you know that what you are doing, that is the trainings you are doing for organizations, is what I am supposed to be doing? My mentor said, can you give, how so, sir? They now said that, well, he had realized, for some time that his purpose was to do trainings for people to human capital development and the like. But because of what other people, he was fidgeting because he felt that he would not be able to take care of his family. He felt that he would not be able to earn appropriately or adequately from that. He now logged on to banking career. To cut the long story short, he sidelined the vision, he sidelined his purpose, and then he put his ladder on the wrong wall. Guess what? It climbed to the topmost top of the wall. It got to the topmost top. It became an executive director, but it was building on the wrong foundation. And then he now told my mentor and said, I'm going to leave this job and I'm going to start. And then some months later, my mentor met him at the airport. He had resigned. He was going for a training abroad. So I said all that to say this. The first thing you need to build a solid financial future is clarity. I don't know what that means for you. It's clarity in different areas. I don't know the area in which you might need the clarity, but you need clarity. That's the first thing I would say. Now, we are talking about the future. I wanted to talk a bit about the future. With the future, I remember they used to say Vision 2020 back in 2010. Vision 2020. 2020 looked so far. It seemed so far, but now here we are in 2020. So the future is not as far as you think. The future is now. The future is today. They call us the leaders of the future or leaders of tomorrow. But we are saying, no, we want to take over now. That's why these protests are going on. We are the leaders of today. So the future is now. That's the truth. Don't be hoodwinked by the concept of 10 years, 20 years. Before you know it, 10 years has come and gone. Now, let's talk about your finances. I've made, I try to lay that foundation just to ensure that we are building on the right foundation. So let's go straight to our finances, and then let's go straight to how you and I can build a strong financial future and not a weak one. The first thing I would like to talk about here is that you have your own unique journey. You are running your own race. Don't compare yourselves with others. Don't compare yourselves with your friends. Each one of us came to life separately. We came to life separately. And then we have our unique races. Don't compare yourself to others. Your own journey is very unique. It is very unique and very unique to you. So that's the first thing I would like to talk about in building a solid foundation or building a solid financial future. Your journey to your own financial future is unique. So don't compare yourselves with others. Now, the next thing I would like to talk, we're not talking about finance. So let's go into the nitty-gritty of finance. When the COVID-19 lockdown struck, a lot of families were affected. I'm a financial advisor, so I get to coach a lot of people on how to, come out of their financial crisis. A lot of families were battered. A lot of families were wounded financially. And then one of the things I realized was that when others were complaining, some others were making money. Some others were able to adjust. And I find out what was the difference between those who suffered the brunt of the lockdown and those who were able to still cope and adapt and then still thrive was this concept of emergency fund. The people who were able to cope with the lockdown before the lockdown had saved up what we call an emergency fund. In case something happens, let me just build funds somewhere and leave these funds just in case there's an emergency, what we call unforeseen contingencies. Let me just build these funds up and leave it there in cash in a bank. And guess what happened? The lockdown struck. I said all that to say this. Life happens. Things happen. We need to build an emergency fund. That's the first thing I want to talk about. I want to advise you to do. For you to build a strong financial future, you need to put in place an emergency fund. A fund, what's an emergency fund? Very simple. In case something happens and you lose your source of income or something just happened, an emergency, how will you get money? How will you be able to sustain your livelihood? That's what an emergency fund does. So all you just need to do is to save and equivalent, let's assume that your monthly salary is 150,000 naira. Monthly salary, okay, let's just say your living expenses is 150,000 naira monthly. Your living expenses, everything you need to survive, to drive and to take care of your expenses, your this and that for a month is 150,000 naira. What you will do is to build up that amount for like 6 months, 3 to 6 months. So if you were to build for 3 months, then you need to build up 450,000 naira in a bank or in something. Just put the money there. It's called an emergency fund, just in case there's an emergency. Or if it's for for 6 months, you need to build up 900,000. I'm using the 150,000 as an example. So whatever your living expenses is, build up 3 to 6 months equivalent, something that can last you for 3 to 6 months in case something happens. So that's the first thing you and I need to do when it comes to building a strong financial future. Build your own emergency fund. If you are yet to do that, start doing it today. Very, very important. Now, everyone is responsible for the outcome of his or her life. You are responsible for the outcome of your life. You cannot blame anybody. My wife and I were chatting earlier today, and then she was talking to me about some people that she knows in our organization who had some kind of deficiencies in terms of skills. And then, okay, she said that they couldn't speak English. They were the non-teaching staff, they were the cleaners. Some of them couldn't speak English. And then, I was telling her that, well, of course, life happens. I told her that if those people wanted to develop themselves, no matter what had happened to them, they would have found a way to develop the ability to speak proper English. I said it was because it wasn't their priority. That was why they didn't give it attention. But if it was their priority, they would find a way to go to adult school. No matter how much it may cost, they would go to adult school to learn English. So I'm saying that you and I are responsible for the outcome of our lives. We cannot afford to blame people. There are some people who lay blames on others. Oh, it's because of so and so that I couldn't do this. It's not on Mr. My uncle. It's not on my mom. It's not my. No, there's nothing like that. In this era, for you to build a strong financial future, take responsibility for the outcome of your life. Now, we talk about the concept of the past, the present, and the future. So, you can't do anything about the past, but you can do something about the present and the future. And then in this new era, one of the things that happened is that new billionaires are going to arise in this new era. Now, look, in fact, just a few days ago, some new billionaires emerged.
Amen, amen. I'm the number one.
Okay, fantastic. Some days ago, it was announced that Stripe had acquired Paystack for the sum of $200 million. Now, I want you to do of course, they have investors. They have investors. They have Visa. They have Y Combinator. They have these are a venture capitalist firm. Visa, Y Combinator, Tencent, and one or two other firms that are invested in them. But one way or the other, each of the founders, what's his name, Shola Kennedy and Isaiah, is it Ezekiel or Isaiah? I can't remember the name of the co-founder.
Ezra. Yes.
Thank you, Ezra. One way or the other, each of them would own nothing less than 10%. At least that's my own calculation. So if we had to do 10% of $200 million, that's a minimum of $20 million each, a minimum. That's billions. Billions for building. They were able to build stuff that was relevant to the extent that Stripe, all the way from America, came to acquire them. And then, I read on an online platform the comment of the CEO of Stripe. The guy was saying that they didn't buy Paystack because of their location because they're in Africa or because they wanted to take over Africa. They said they bought Paystack because those guys have been able to build something that works. Those guys have been able to, even do beyond their imaginations. That they wanted to, tap into that and then, build on that, leverage on it to, penetrate Africa. So this is the era of building wealth. The era of building wealth. So when you talk about building a solid financial future, you are talking about becoming a multi-millionaire or a multi-billionaire in dollars. Don't look at Nigeria, look at dollars in naira, not in naira, but in dollars. You are cultivating the ability. You are consciously building capacity to attract millions or billions of dollars, depending on your dream. Now let's move on. I want to talk about financial planning. Now we're not going to the nitty-gritty of the presentation. Now, one of the things that I can see in this era is that there's a need for financial planning because things are happening, unforeseen contingencies. So one has got to have some basic plans in place. And one of it is called financial planning. A financial plan helps you to establish your goals and priorities. One of the things financial planning does for you is that it helps you, it gives you clarity. It gives you clarity. It creates structure in your personal and business life. If you don't have a financial plan, things will happen to you. Things will happen to your business. Things will happen to your family. So you need to have a financial plan that can last between 5 to 6 to 10 years. Things that you just put in place. A financial plan will include your retirement plan. It will include your estate plan because you want to build a business or you want to build an estate, you need to plan for it. Planning is very critical in this new era. So for you to build a solid financial future, you need to have a financial plan in place, a financial plan that is flexible, that can be adjusted, that is because this is the era of flexibility. So it's very flexible, it's adaptable. So you can do it yourself or you can engage a financial advisor like me to help you with the financial planning. Very, very important. Now, let's look at financial planning life cycle. There are some things that you ought to have in place at certain ages. Now, look at age 10. If you are still small, you are still you are not expected to have any responsibility. But look at from age 20, age 20, age 22, age 23, and above. There are some things that you ought to have in place when it comes to your financial planning. You need to start thinking about asset acquisition as from age 20, age 22, 23. You need to start thinking about insurance. You need to start thinking about savings and investment. You need to start thinking about tax because you start, that's from age 30 and above, tax. Then you need to start, even from age 22, age 23, you need to start thinking about your retirement. When do you want to retire? You need to start thinking about what? Your estate. And then from maybe age 18, you need to start earning an income. As you can see, income. This is what we call the financial planning life cycle. The income is on the y-axis, and then the age is on the x-axis. Let's continue. Now, many of us are 20-somethings here, so I want to talk about personal finance in your 20s. You are just starting out. You could be broke, young and broke, or young and building wealth. Some of us are still living at home. You have relatively few responsibilities. Some of us have just finished our university education, and some of us may be thinking of going back to school. You are looking about, you are thinking about career growth, plugging yourself into an organization, and you're already thinking about your life partner too. You're thinking about so many things, budgeting, investing, and saving. So these are some of the things you're thinking about in your 20s, right? So one of the things I want to identify when it comes to building a solid financial future from your 20s and above, you need to set goals for yourself. You need to have dream. Then break your dream into goals. break your dream into goals. Have a long-term dream, something you want to become, who you want to become. I was sharing with my wife this morning that there was this, I saw a documentary about a lady. She grew up in one of the eastern part of Africa, I think in Kenya. She couldn't go to school because her family was poor. So she got married at age 13. They just married her out, The husband paid cow and they gave her out as a child bride. By age 18, she had 5 children. By age 18, but one of her dreams was that she wanted to go to school. She wanted to become a doctor, a PhD holder. That was one of her dreams. She couldn't, she didn't have the wherewithal, she didn't have the resources. She was married, and her husband also wasn't encouraging her. But guess what she did? She broke down the dream into small bites, into goals. She said, okay, to have a PhD, where is the starting point? I need to go to primary school. So she started going to school with her own children as a student. She went to her school with her own children. Before she knew it, she finished. She finished from school, primary school rather, Then from there she went to secondary school. She was old. She was older than most students. In fact, all the students there, she was almost twice their ages, but she didn't mind because she had what she was working towards. Then before you knew it, she traveled out of out of her country, Kenya. She relocated to United States. Last year, she bagged her PhD. Last year, she bagged her PhD. She achieved her dream. So have your dream, then break that dream into goals, and then actionable goals, goals that you can achieve, one step at a time. We have different, I don't want to go into details. Many of us know short-term goals, medium-term goals, and long-term goals. Let's go to the next thing. One of the things one of the things we use have is time. But we must realize that time is very precious. We cannot afford to waste time. Time is life. If you are fond of, I just want to kill time. Let me just stay somewhere, Jerry. Let me enjoy myself. Let me kill time for some time. You cannot kill time. Killing time, there's nothing like killing time. It is not murder, it is suicide. So one of the things you need to identify with, or you need to really embrace, is the concept of time when it comes to building a strong financial future. And I'm going to share with us a slide to explain the essence of time when it comes to building a solid financial future. This is your balance sheet. We have your assets. Many of us know assets are cash, bank accounts, money market, deposits, mutual funds. I'm rushing a bit because of time. Stocks, property, car. Then liabilities are mortgages, housing loans, car loans, utility bills, personal debt. Now, for you to know your current net worth, itemize all the assets you have at the moment, both current and fixed assets. Itemize them and then get their values, and then look at all the liabilities you have. Then deduct your liabilities from your assets. Whatever is left is your current net worth. Now, some of us have what we call negative net worth. If your assets, the value of your assets is more than your liabilities, you have a positive net worth. But if the value of your liabilities is much more than the value of your assets, that's a negative net worth. Negative net worth. Now, I want to give us an assignment. The assignment is simple. You need to know how much you are spending in a month. I want you to know where your money is currently going. So the first assignment I want to give you is for the next 1 month, for the next 30 days, every day, I want you to record your daily expenses. For the next 30 days, your daily expenses, every day record it. Then at the end of the month, evaluate it, and you'll be shocked where your money is going to. Now, let me share this humorous story with us, shared by one of my mentors. He's a coach, he's coach of coaches. a client came to meet him and was complaining. I said, sir, see, I'm so age. I'm 35 years old. I'm working and I'm earning 150,000 per month. Yet I can't afford to have my own accommodation. I'm living with my uncle and I'm tired. I want to get my own accommodation. How can I not be able to afford my own accommodation since I'm earning 150,000 in a month? So my mentor told him, calm down, calm down. So my mentor gave him a sheet of paper and a pen and said, okay, can you just give me an idea of what you do on a daily basis with your money? You know, once you get the salary, what do you do? So he tried to, clothes. Okay, I spend clothes. I want to buy good shoes. I spend 20,000 naira. Transportation. Oh, I spent 15,000 naira. I work in Lekki. My office is in VI. Okay. Then he now went to entertainment, what we call drinks. Guess what happened? By the time he did calculation, he realized that he was spending more than 80,000 naira on drinks every month. Drinks, more than 80,000. So when he finished, my mentor pointed his attention to it. Can you see you are spending more than 80K on drinks alone, and you are saying you don't have accommodation? So when this guy saw that, can you imagine I'm spending 80K? He just eased. He eased, stood up, and left my mentor because he knew where the problem was coming from. He knew where the problem was. So all he just needed to do was to what? Remedy the situation. So we need to know the difference between wants and needs. Coach Greatness, how many minutes do you have left, please? Coach Greatness? Coach Greatness?
I'm with you. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Because I can't see myself.
Okay, just tell me, how many minutes do you have left?
I'm trying to. Please continue, sir. Don't worry. Anybody can go once they have something else to do. Sir, this is precious. Please continue.
Oh, okay.
I'll check and send it as a chat to you privately.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So,
thank you.
We need to continually review our financial situation. Many of us don't know the difference between needs and wants. We are, especially in this era, in this generation, our wants have become our needs. You know, look at this, for example. School fees is a need. You are going to school, is a need. Having a latest device is a want. Mortgage, for example, on a platform, someone was asking for an expert in mortgage. No, that's a need for some people. Sport betting is a want. Rent is a need. Expensive car is a want. So we need to know the difference between our wants and our needs. My fellow young people, if you were to calculate how much you spent so far from January to, or should I say how much has passed through your hands from January till now, you would be shocked. Honestly, you would be shocked. Some of us, millions have passed through our hands, yet we have very little to show for it.
The bulk of the money.
We have very little to show for it. So what I'm saying essentially is that you and I need to cut back on unnecessary spending. Unnecessary spending that is not working. For example, now in my own house, in my house, we used to subscribe for cable monthly, but we come back in the night. My wife comes back late in the evening. I also come back in the night from office. And then when do we have time to watch cable? So, okay, what do we watch in that cable? Okay, we watch movies. Can't I be downloading movies on YouTube, downloading movies on stuff? So for the past 4 or 5 months, we've not resubscribed, or we've not subscribed because we didn't need it. We don't need it. It's a want. It's not a need for us. It's a want at the moment. It's a want. So we cut it off. We cut it off. We can download our movies online, watch movies when time we have time. Anytime we want to, we watch our movies. Because that's basically what we don't listen to some of this stuff. We don't watch some of these programs that they do on those platforms. So your wants. As much as possible, cut back on unnecessary expenses. Now, another thing you need to do, you and I need to do to build a strong financial future is to have budgets. Create budgets. Be a person that has budgets. Companies have budgets. Well-organized and established companies do budgets for their projects. They have yearly budgets. They have monthly budgets. They have this budget, that budget. And they are trying. Even Nigeria has a budget. Just some few days ago, our president went to present the budget for 2021. If organizations, well-established organizations and countries are having budgets, it means that for you and I to build a solid financial future, we need to always create budgets. We need to work with budgets. One of the things that come, let me teach you this trick. I don't know whether some of us have practiced or do practice it. One of the things I do, maybe I want to employ someone to do a survey or to render a service for me. One of the things I would have done was I would have, stated my budget. My budget for this project is so and so amount. So when I engage the service provider and he starts mentioning some figures, I said, sorry, that is beyond my budget. I realized that it works. It works. I find them, trying to accommodate my budget. They are trying to, reduce their service charge because I mentioned budget. The word budget is like a master key to get what I want. So it's a very, very important concept. It's a practice that you and I need to embrace. Budgeting. It's very, very critical. These are some of the budgeting tips. I wouldn't go into the details because of time. Budget, pay yourself first. I'm going to talk about that shortly. Be in control of your debt. I'm going to talk about that shortly. A budget helps you to curb impulse spending. Let me share this humorous story with us. I used to know a guy, and the guy, at some point, a large sum of money came into his hands. I think he had, this was many years ago, he got 100,000 naira from a job he did. That was the first time he would earn 100,000. This guy was living like he was happy. 100K at once, he was happy. Guess what he did? He now took the 100K, he placed it in the drawer in his bedroom. He placed it in a drawer. You know what he did? He didn't do a budget. He just placed it in a drawer. So he would go out, I need 5K. I need to take the boys out. So he would quickly rush home, take 5K, take the boys out. The next day, I need to buy so and so. I need 10K. He would go back home from the drawer, he would take 10K. So that continued day in, day out. Then it came a certain day. I need 15K urgently. 15K. I need to do this. It's very important. He rushed back home. On getting to the drawer, he pulled it out. He saw that the drawer was empty. He was now asking himself, who took my money? The money had disappeared. He didn't have a budget. Sometimes when a large amount of money comes into my hand, I'm feeling grateful, I'm feeling happy. And then I now do my, it feels like you have all the money, you can do anything. By the time I do budget, I realize that I can't afford to spend anyhow. A budget is a tool of financial discipline. For us to build solid financial future, we need to cultivate the attitude, the habit of budgeting. It's very, very important. Where does your money go? Very, very important to budget. Budget is very, very important. You need to budget. Don't allow your money to fritter away. Now, another concept we need to consider when it comes to building a solid financial future, because I understand my audience. I understand that we are young people here. Some of us are just finishing. Some of us are established. Some of us are working. Some of us are thinking about career transitioning. Some of us are, even older and all that. But let me address some of us who are younger here in our 20s and the like. Now, you are thinking about entrepreneurship or employment. Okay, should I be an entrepreneur or should I be an entrepreneur? Or an employment or seek an employment. This is a very crucial decision, and it is very, very crucial. You cannot afford to leave it to happenstance. It is a conscious decision that you need to make. Make it because it can make or break your financial future. It can either make your financial future strong or weak. So make this decision carefully. Carefully. Be very careful. Be very, very careful about this decision. It is very, very, very important. Now, let's move on to the next one. I just checked my messages. I can see that some of us are sending out messages. Fantastic. Thank you. So let's continue. You know, one of the things I had to, when I finished school, when I finished university, one of the decisions I needed to make was, should I pursue employment or entrepreneurship? It was a very critical decision. And I made my decision based on my own, you know, like I said, everybody is running his own race. Your race is unique. So run your own race. Don't do things because others are doing it. So what I did was, okay, I'm running my own race. What do I want? Employment or entrepreneurship? And first thing I did was I gained clarity. I've talked about clarity earlier. You need clarity. I gained, okay, who am I? What am I supposed to do? Who am I sent to? When am I supposed to start? Blah, blah, blah. So I gained clarity, and that helped me to choose either employment or entrepreneurship. Now, are you in debt? When you are young and with little in the way of resources, it is easy for debt to become a way of life. You know, one of the things that is coming in this new age is already happening is the concept of credit card. It is not yet pervasive, but it's coming. We need to be very careful. We need to be very careful with debt. I've had a few clients that I've worked with that did not manage this issue of debt, and it jeopardized their financial future. For example, one of them works with a leading bank. No, she works with a leading bank and then earns hundreds of thousands, earns hundreds of thousands, yet she found herself in debt. She was earning, I think she was earning about 300K or so. I can't remember a month. I can't remember again. But hundreds of thousands. Yet she was still in debt to tens of millions. Millions. Why? And then when I asked her, what did you use the money for? She can't account for what she used the money for. And then she has to service the debt. By the time she serviced the debt, the money that came into her hands was very little. It was so little that it couldn't take her home. The money that came, she was earning 300 to 350,000 a month. Yet the money that was coming at the end of the day, after she settled her debt, she was settling it. She had an arrangement with our creditors to be settling on a monthly basis. As soon as the money hits our salary account, they will just take their own share. By the time they've taken their share, what was left was just very little, and that couldn't even accommodate our expenses for a week. She had jeopardized our financial future. We need to be very wary of the concept of debt. So when you talk about debt, we have good debt, we have bad debt. A good debt helps you to build your future. If you have something, for example, now I have another client who is studying for his master's abroad. He had to get a loan. He had to get student loan. That is a good debt. He got the loan to improve himself, to build capacity, to be able to deliver value on a global scale. That's a good debt because it will help him to build his future net worth. But a bad debt diminishes your future net worth. Borrowing to spend on consumables is a bad debt. But borrowing for certain businesses or for certain investment opportunities is, it's a good debt. Depending, I want to put a disclaimer here. You need to have financial intelligence to be able to do this well. Because I have another client who she was introduced to one of these, they call it Swiss Gold. They call it Swiss Gold. Her sister, she works, this client of mine too works in a bank, one of the leading banks. And then, her younger sister introduced Swiss Gold to her. Swiss Gold is one of these, many of us know Swiss Gold, one of these money multiplication scam platforms. If you can, the youngest was telling her, if you can invest 5 million naira, you'll be on a fast track. You get, within a month, you'll get 15 million. Within a month, just invest 5 million in this business. Within 1 month, you get 15 million. When she had that, when my client had that, I hear just I hear it's increased, or should I say enlarged. To cut the long story short, she went to borrow 5 million naira. She poured it into that business till tomorrow. She has not gotten the 5. The 5 million has not returned, neither has she gotten the returns. And then she had to bear the cost of repaying the debt from her salary too. So we need to be very, very careful. Careful, because bad debt can jeopardize, or should I say, weaken our financial future. So we need to be very careful about debt. So when you want to deal with debt, how do you deal with debt? Very simple. If you are struggling to repay, don't ignore your debt problems. I have another client. This guy, he borrowed, he had a partner. They went into this business of, what do they call it? Logistic business, and all that. So they needed to get a bike, a motorbike, and a dispatch rider, and a dispatch ride. They needed to get a dispatch ride. So he went to borrow 250 naira from one of the mortgage or microfinance banks. I think as at that time was earning 100,000 naira. So he borrowed it, with the mind that he would be returning the money on a monthly basis. Guess what the guy did? Guess what he did? When he borrowed the money, rather than return it, because they got, the truth was they were able to get the bike, but something happened, and the bike was, I think it was seized by police. It was seized. It was confiscated. It was during the time they were seizing bikes, that police were seizing, that the state government banned bikes. So the bike was seized and it was gone. Yet he had to repay. Guess what the guy did? The guy just abandoned that salary account and diverted his salary to another account. He ignored the bad, and he didn't know that it may jeopardize his financial future. Because this thing happened, there's a global, a national credit body. What happens is that when you refuse to pay your debt, you will be put on a national database for financial institutions, a database where your credit rating will be, lowered. It will be lowered. So, many of us, you realize that some of us must have gone for loans. The first thing they do when you want to apply for a loan is they'll go and check your credit worthiness. They'll go to that database and find out whether you are credit worthy or not. The guy didn't know that. So we need to be very careful. We need to be very, very careful. Live below your means. If you want to live large, increase your means. You can live large by increasing your means. Very, very important. Now, let's talk about saving. Saving is also important when it comes to building a strong financial future. I know many of us have had this again and again. Save, 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 save. But we are not doing, we are not doers, we are not practitioners. Now, let me just simplify the concept of saving. It's not under compulsion for you to save 10% of your income if you cannot afford to do it, because your salary is perhaps little or nothing at the moment. If you cannot afford to save 10%, you can save 1%. You can save 2%. I want you to begin to practice what I call incremental savings. It's very simple. If your current salary can only accommodate 1%, start saving that 1% regularly. Keep saving it regularly, just 1% of your income. Once you get your income, save 1% every month. Then, as your financial well-being, improves, maybe you get another job or your income increases, you can jack the rate up to 2% or to 3% or 4%, depending on your peculiar situation. You can jack the rate up, jack it up. Then, as your financial well-being increases and improves, keep jacking it up till you reach the 10% threshold, or you can even increase it to 15% or 20%. So there's no excuse for not saving. A lot of people are saying that, oh, what if my income is too small? That's why I said practice incremental saving. If it is 0.5% you can afford at the moment, save is 0.5. There's no excuse for not saving. It is very important to building a solid financial future. Savings is very good. Some opportunities, appear, and it is the person who has money that can leverage those opportunities. If you have money, for example, now they can just say, "Oh, a bank wants to, a lot of people who do not know how to use debt, they go and get a loan, and they use their father's house or they use their house as collateral. Then the business goes sour. Then the bank take over the houses. If the house is valued at 50 million, the bank will not sell it at 50 million because they want to sell it. They can sell it at 25 million. They can sell it at 15 million. They can sell it at 12 million. If you have cash, you can take advantage of such opportunities. Cars, that's how they dispose of cars too. You can take advantage. There's so many opportunities that come. You can take advantage of them when you have cash, when you have something saved up. Very, very important. Now, let me show this. This is a very important concept. I talked about the importance of time. Now, you can see this table. I'm talking about the power of time here when it comes to saving. You can see different ages. You can see the starting age. You can see age 25. This is an hypothetical case. Let's assume that Ade is 25 years old and he gets a very good job, or is able to save 500,000 annually. It can be 5,000, it can be 50,000, but he's saving something annually, and he gets a 10% interest rate on that saving. Assuming he saves 500,000 annually, by age 60, he would have 149,563,402.66 kobo. That's at age 60. Now, Neka couldn't start saving at 20. It's another person, Neka. She's age 30. She couldn't start saving at age 25, but she started at age 30. So she started saving 500,000 annually, at 10% interest rate. By age 60, Neka would have 90 million plus as her saving by age 60. Now, let's look at the difference. Let's look at the difference between the person who started, between Ade, who started at age 25, and Neka, who started at age 30. Let's look at the difference in terms of cash. By age 60, Ade would be 58 million naira richer than Neka, who started at age 30. Can you see the value of time? Someone else says, oh, I couldn't start at age 30, but I'm starting at age 35. The same 10%, the same 500,000, he saves, 54 million at the age of 30. At the age of 60. Then another person couldn't start at age 35, but started at age 40. So at age 60, his net worth is 32 million plus. Let's look at the difference. The difference is 22 million. As you can see, time is important. Time is very, very important when it comes to the issue of saving. Now, let's quickly talk about investing. Someone was talking about, I think it was Mr. Alex who was talking about saving. So who was talking about investing in shares and the like. So let's quickly look at the concept. I might not, this is not an investment class, so I won't go deep into the concept because it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. So you need to what? Invest
Coach
wisely.
Ben, just to interrupt
Yes.
you briefly, I think we'll have to bring you back to talk about investment, separately. But down, it has to be it. As I am hoping that people would pay for it, because this one you are doing for us. In fact, I was just telling Pastor Alex that this is way more than what I expected. Thank you.
Thank God. All the glory
Yeah.
to God.
So if you can please wrap up in 3 minutes, then of course
Okay.
we will have another session with you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
So
Well
let me just
done.
stay on, thank God. Let me stay on this slide. There's still so much more. So I'll just stay here. Invest wisely. So when it comes to investing, some people come to me and say, okay, I have so and so amount of money. Why do I invest it? Or in what do I invest? I have come to realize that the most important investment is the investment you make in yourself. The investment you make in yourself is the most, it's the one that will give you the most value. When you are able to develop yourself, you pour your money into yourself. You pour your resources into becoming better, into becoming more resourceful, into becoming more valuable. So that's what this I do personally. I invest massively in myself. I build, every day by the grace of God, investing in my capacity to deliver value on a global dimension. Like I mentioned earlier, the world is now flat. We now work in a global world. It's no longer local. We cannot afford to be small anymore. So we need to develop capacity to become global players. So whatever that means for you, like I said, everybody has his own context. Understand your own context, know the areas in which you need to build capacity, and then build capacity in those areas. Invest in yourself, spend money on yourself, do courses. When Coach Greatness says pay so and so amount for this course or for this class, pay. You are investing in yourself. Invest in great relationships. Building relationships is key, because I have come to realize that where you may not go, some people, your friends, you may get there and they may recommend you. Invest in great relationships. Invest in your talents. Develop your talent into skills. Develop your mindset. Invest your money. We couldn't talk about that. Maybe some other time we could talk about investing money. Invest in your business. Invest in your dream. Pour your money in your business. But one of these I've realized is that if you pour money in your business without pouring money in your mind, developing capacity to manage that business, the money will go down the drain. Develop management capacity. Develop leadership ability. Develop certain skills. Do courses, online courses. Go for coaching sessions with coaches. Come for my financial advisory sessions. All of these things are very, very important. Invest in yourself. So that's where I will stop for now. Thank you very much.
I mean, that was I don't even know what to say. Like I'm blown away. Thank you, Coach Benjamin. You are way more than, sincerely. You are way more than.
Thank God.
What? Yes, I have known you since 2018. You people should be careful of relationships around you,
How
so
do I
that you
look?
don't treat a resourceful person like trash. I mean, thank you so very much for this great session.
Thank God.
We definitely have to bring you. I know you have a lot to cover. I saw that you were really trying to rush and cover a lot, and it didn't look like you have spent an hour. But then we'll go into questions and answers shortly.
Me.
Yes. Veronica is saying something. Veronica, are you talking with us? Are you talking to
Don't
us?
mind me. I'm not saying anything.
Okay. So
No,
while we
no,
wait
no,
for
no.
your questions and
Don't mind
answers,
me.
I'm going to. Can you mute yourself if you're not talking to us so we are not distracted? Do you understand? Okay, she has already. Okay, so before we go into question and answer, Coach Benjamin, let me just quickly take the announcement so that would, because I can see that, sorry. Okay, oh, sorry. Okay, so I just want to show us, I was discussing with Veronica before the session, and I was like, I want to show us the breakdown of income and expenses made so far in this webinar. You know, it's the 12-week program, and this is the 9th week. So we got from these people, you can see their names and the incomes that came. Of course, Paystack took their charges, right? So we made this income and we are gotten these expenses. And really, I need help. Really, I really need help. I know that this program was, initially we said, okay, people should pay for it. And that was why all those people paid. And we decided that, okay, let's throw it open so that we can accommodate more people that might not be able to afford it. And that is why, please, I'm begging, I'm asking, I don't like begging. I'm asking for your support so that we can do more. And we'll need your feedback. So next week, I can see that the youth are taking over. I like the fact that Coach Benjamin said it is not the government of the youth. And so I'm bringing my colleague as well. Amazingly, 3 of us with Coach Benjamin, we did our coach certification program together. And she started Exploit Generation, bringing youth from different sphere of influence, from these different areas of life, you know, to share on what they're doing and how they are changing the nation. And I think it's just beautiful to just hear them speak on the role of young adults in wealth creation of the nation. And I was just telling Pastor Alex that it was just God that laid these people in my heart and these topics. And it's beautiful that this is even coming next week when, of course, the youth are protesting, and we want the youth to know that, yes, they matter. So because of time, I won't be able to read Lyle's profile. We'll definitely read her profile before she presents next week. And please, I need your help. I wrote a book, which I believe is a tool for the family sphere of influence, Rescued by Love, Why I Cancelled My Wedding. And I've gotten reviews, I've gotten feedback, people saying that this is a liberation tool, people saying it's a manual. I mean, last week, Pastor Alex bought extra 3 copies for his friends, and I'm like really, like, you don't even know the power of your book. Like, and I'm saying it with every sense of humility. I need your help to reach more people. Please, if you have people that I can review the book with, and they will get it at half price with the other 2 books, I'll be very grateful. And lastly, if you are preparing for the November diet of CIPM and you need advisory service, I'm an associate of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management, and I'd like to support you. So now let's go back to our question and answer. So if you have questions, have they dropped questions now? Has anybody dropped questions? Nobody, or do you want to ask? We can unmute.
No questions yet.
Let me allow them to unmute themselves. So if you have questions, you can now ask. Does anybody have any question? Veronica, over to you. So if there are no questions.
Okay, please, if anyone has any questions, we would like to take your questions now. We'd like to take your questions now. And apologies for the interruption earlier. I'm really sorry. We'd like to take your questions now, please.
Okay, so if there are no questions, let's take our affirmation. And before we take our affirmations, I want to say thank you. Thank you, a million thank you to Coach Ben. I want to say thank you so much for what you did. Let me see if I can post. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I want to say thank you to Coach Benjamin for making out your time out of your busy schedule. Like, you are loaded, sir. Like, you are very, very loaded. In fact, I thank God that me, I don't despise people and I don't despise relationships. That I am grateful for the access to you. I'm grateful for the privilege and the honor. So, Coach Benjamin is offering 9 people. Please, he said 10, but me, I'm number 1. So he's offering 10 free advisory services, and me, I've taken one, and I'm not selfish. The Bible says the husband man will be the first partaker of the fruit. Yeah, so he's offering 10 people, and okay, amazingly we have. So let's give everybody on the call. So everybody on the call, let me screenshot before somebody come and attack me later and say they are part of the people that waited till the end. Let me quickly snap. Hold on a second. Let me snap. So everyone on the call can you give me let me get sorry, let me snap so that we can have these names. So everybody on the call can have access to the advisory service that is giving us. I am snapping so that yes, so everyone is having a free session with Coach Benjamin. You can see that he has a lot to offer. Please, when he scheduled time with you and you need to reschedule, give at least 24 hours notice. Please don't say because you're taking this thing for free, you now cancel at 9 minutes. Please, let's value his time. So everyone on the call is definitely going to get a session with him. Everyone, I think that's why we didn't have a good number today. And I apologize again, the change in time, but it's going to be 3 p.m. going forward. Please apologies for that. So Coach Benjamin, let's unmute ourselves and say thank you. He's giving us someone is saying yippee. Please unmute yourself and say thank you to him.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Ben.
Thank you, Mr. Ben. God bless you.
Thank you, Coach Benjamin.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for a lovely session.
You have really enriched us.
Thank
We
you
appreciate
very much.
you. Thank you very much. And have a nice weekend.
Thank you for loading us.
Thank you.
So
Have a
because
nice
of
weekend.
time,
Yes, you have helped me to improve my financial stand.
yes, I love those. So because of time, we will not be able to take our affirmations for today. But I'll I don't know why
Okay.
why the echo is coming. Okay.
Greatness.
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear. Can you hear me?
Greatness.
I can hear you.
Okay. I would. Yes. I dropped an info on the
Okay, please communicate. Communicate.
message board, message platform for. Okay, I dropped a message on the message platform for those who would love to give us a feedback. We would really appreciate the feedback from everyone that participated in this session. So we'd really love a summarized feedback from everyone about today's session on what you've learned and what you've unlearned and what you hope to relearn. We would really love that, and we'll be expecting your feedback. And as well, we have a platform for partnership and financial support via the PayPal link. So it's there for everyone. Please make use of it. We would really love support financially and on sessions of Start What You Have series. You can go to YouTube channel. So I'll drop the link now to view previous sessions, and this very session will be uploaded soon as well. So we really thank you for your participation, your active participation. Thank you very much. And to Coach Ben as well, thank you for a wonderful session.
God, all the glory to God.
Thank you for letting us tap into your wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate you, sir.
Now,
Thank
real
you.
well too. Oh Jesus, this course is being recorded. Oh. My pigeon will enter. Okay, so I would like 3 people to respond to these 5 questions. Of course, we can't take the affirmations because of time. Or do you want us to take the affirmations? Let's do based on popular demand. That's the right word, right? So someone saying we should take the confession, but then can we take the confessions? Yes or no? Please now respond to me. Are you too hungry with me?
Let's answer the question.
Okay, good. Mr. Olujide Eyumi.
Yes.
Let's answer the questions.
Okay, so let's just jump into the
Questions.
that means we're going to start from the 3rd one. What are you, the 2nd one rather? What are you hoping for this week? Let's start with you, Mr. Olujide Ejiwumi.
This week, I want to track my expenses.
Woo!
I want
love
to
that.
avoid impulse buying.
Great.
Avoid unnecessary spending.
Amazing.
Thank you, ma.
Wow. So what are your goals and intent? Okay, that sounds more like goals and intention. So when are you starting? When are you starting?
Today.
Fantastic. Amazing. So let's have 2 more people and we call it a wrap. 2 more people. Is Coach Benjamin still here?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you can see that in fact you have this is amazing. So 2 more people. Who is responding? Hello. Don't leave me, challenge. Don't leave me. Who is responding now? You people don't want to.
Hello.
Okay, Mommy Cecilia, please go ahead, ma.
Obey. Yes, I was able to evaluate myself from the lecture he gave.
Great.
I knew each time I have an incremental or increase in my salary, annual incremental. Okay, I used to increase my cooperative savings, yes. But on the other hand, I also used to have expenses that are greater than, like I would say I'm saving like 2/3 of my salary every month. But there are occasions I find myself now going beyond the 1/3 that I'm left with, and I will need to go above me. So from the lecture he gave, I now discovered that maybe I will have to really maybe live by the 2/3 and save 1/3. That's the discovery I made about myself through the lecture.
Great. Amazing. And
thank you very much.
Thank you. I love that. I really love that. That's been setting realistic goals, and saving incrementally. I love that. Thank you, Madam Cecilia. Mr. Pascal Ikechuku says, mine is to reduce expenses and invest more in myself, which is the greatest asset, by reading books, attending more trainings and meetings. And Veronica has graciously dropped the YouTube channel name for us to go and watch the previous 8 sessions on YouTube. Please watch it. This one would be uploaded before Monday as well, and you will see it. Thank you once again, everyone, for joining us. We really appreciate you, and we are looking forward to seeing you next week. Please tell more youths about this and let them know that we are talking about their role in the wealth creation of Nigeria next week. And thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. So I would, you're free to leave, but me, I want to record the confession. So if you want to join me, you can join me. I want to add the confession to the recording before I stop recording. So I'm going to start from the beginning. If you registered, I'm sure you must have gotten this in your mail last week, except you are just joining us for the first time today. Okay, so is anybody joining me? Nobody is answering me.
I am.
Okay, thank you. So our words have creative power. Every word we speak and every thought we think is an affirmation for our future. I acknowledge God as my source and sustainer. Therefore, I lack. Nobody is talking now. It's only Pastor Alex I can hear. Unmute yourself, oh.
Allah is no good thing.
The grace to build wealth abound to me, so that I always have all
The grace
sufficiency
to
in all
build
things.
wealth
I
abounds to
remember
me,
today that it is God
so that I
who is
always have
continually
all
giving me power
sufficient
and ability
in
to
all
get
things.
wealth, that I may
Remember
have more than
today
enough to
that
give to his
God
kingdom and
is
be a
continually giving
blessing
me
to the
power,
needy
ability
around
to
me.
get wealth,
As a lady
that
of
I may
global
have more
and
than
eternal
enough to give the
influence, I
kingdom
am
to
blessed to be a
bless
blessing to
around me.
nations.
As a man
Therefore, I
or a
lend to
lady
many
of
nations, and I
I
refuse to
refuse to
the
borrow.
borrow.
nations,
All my words,
therefore I lend
thoughts, and
Thoughts,
actions
that
are
nations and I
divinely
refuse to
guided and
borrow.
very
protected.
guided and
My
Positive
protected.
energy
words and
nourishes my body
thoughts
and
and
helps me
actions
radiate
are
joy to
divinely
others.
guided and
So I
protected.
am deliberate with
Positive
my
energy
words.
nourishes
The
my body and
programming
helps
of
me
my
radiate joy
mind
to
with the right
others.
resources,
So I am deliberate with my
exposure,
words and the
people, and
programming
I
of my
align my
mind
beliefs with
with the right
empowering one
resources.
to become
Exposure,
financially
people, and I
independent.
align my
My mind
beliefs
is
with
clear of
empowering
self-doubt, and I'm ready
financially
to embrace
independent.
every
My
challenge
mind is
that comes
clear
my
of
way. Every
self-doubt,
challenge
and
I
I am
face
ready to
is an
embrace every
opportunity to
challenge
grow,
that comes my way.
innovate,
Every
improve,
challenge
and
I face
unleash my
is an
greatness. I
opportunity to
have
grow,
and receive the
innovate,
spirit of
improve, and
wisdom and
unleash my
revelation
greatness.
for creative
I ask
business
and receive the
ideas,
spirit of
new and
wisdom
witty
and revelation for
inventions,
creative business
divinely
ideas.
birth
New
innovations
and
that the
witty
eyes of men have
inventions,
not seen
divinely birth
nor entered
inventions,
into the hearts of
innovations
men.
that
All
my eyes
these
have
and more are
nor
open unto
entered
me,
into the
and
heart of
I
men.
birth
All these
concepts
and
for
more are
multinational
opened unto
companies
me,
that will
and
make
I
me
birth
blessed in
concepts
all
to make
things with
multinational
the blessing
companies
of the Lord
that
that
will
makes
make
rich
me
and adds
blessed
no
in all
sorrow to
things with
it.
the
Because
blessing
I
of the
have
Lord
inspiration
that
from the
makes
Holy
rich
One,
and adds no
I
sorrow to
know
it.
all things.
Because I have
Now I begin to
inspiration
solve
from the
global
Only One,
problems
I
and
know
end
all
global
things. Now
currency.
I begin
I
to
know
solve
what to
global
do,
problems
with whom
and
to do
earn
it,
global
and how to
currency.
do it,
I
where
know
to
what
do
to
it,
do
to become a
with
lady
whom to
of
do it,
global and
to
eternal
make it,
influence.
best
I
do
make
it,
the right
to become a
decisions
lady
by
of
the
global
excellent
interest
wisdom of
and
God in me.
internal influence.
I know the
I
books to
make the
read,
right decision
who to
by the
listen
excellent
to,
wisdom of
and
God
make the
in
right
me. I know the
decisions.
books to
I
read,
have
who to
now
listen
moved
to,
from
and
my dear
make the
to
right
develop,
decision to
executing
make
the
wealth.
ideas in my heart to build wealth.
to
As
build
I create
wealth,
products
I
and
create
services,
products
I
and
sell
services.
for
I
high
sell for high
performance. I
Well,
am
performance.
as I
empathic with
create
my
products and
friends and
services that I
customers,
sell for high
solving their
performance,
problems,
I am
meeting their needs,
empathic
exceeding
with
their
clients
expectations,
and
and they
customers,
Yes,
solving
return
their
me with a
problems,
minimum of
meeting their
6
needs,
months clients and
exceeding their
customers within
expectations,
their first
and they return
year.
me to
I am
minimum
the
of
love
6 months,
king.
seeing clients
Therefore,
and
I am
customers within their
allowed by
12 week
love
clients.
in all I do and at all times. I allow love to fill every
allow love
inch
to
of my
fill every inch of
system,
my
and I
skin.
embrace the
And
wondrous
God
love gives to me
God
to
to
solve
me.
problems
And
and meet the
God
needs of my
problem.
clients and
Means
customers.
of
And I am
influence.
highly
And God
rewarded in all currencies.
rewarded in
I
all
receive
currency for
raises
them.
and bonuses,
Races
sales
and
and
bonuses,
commissions,
sales and
favorable settlements,
favorable
estates and
Favorable
inheritance,
settlements,
interest
estates
and
and
income,
inheritance,
rebates and
interest and
returns,
income,
discounts and
rebates and
dividends,
returns,
checks,
discounts
gifts
and
and
dividends,
surprises,
checks,
lost money
gifts
found,
and
fees
surprises,
decreased
lost
and
money
paid off,
found, dues decreased
blessings
and
and
paid off,
additional income by the
blessings and
favor of God.
additional
By
income
the
by the
spirit
favor
of
of God.
wisdom, I am
By the
prudent
spirit of
in
wisdom, I
investing,
am prudent in
saving, and
investing,
spending. I
saving and
give all
spending.
diligence
I
to
give
that which
all
is
diligence
necessary
to that
and
which
what
is
God has
necessary
led
and
and will
what
lead me
God
to
has
be
led
to be
and will lead
financially
me to
independent.
do to
God
be a
gives this to
financial
me, and I
independent,
refuse
to
to
be
eat
financially
my seeds.
independent.
I know where to
God gives
cast my
His
seeds,
to me and
and
I
my harvest
eat
comes
my
speedily.
seeds. I know
Money
where to
comes to
cast my
me.
seeds
My
and
dear were
harvest,
opened.
and my harvest
Henceforth, to
comes
see
to
opportunities
only
around
comes
me.
to me. My
Therefore,
eyes bless,
henceforth, I
and
maximize
every
every
opportunities around
opportunity
me.
because I
Therefore,
am prepared for
henceforth,
them.
I
I
maximize
recognize the right
every
relationship to
opportunities
invest
and
in and
look
those
for
with
them.
which to earn.
I
I am
recognize the
surrounded
right
with favor
relationship
as
to
with a
invest
shield.
and build
Therefore, the
for.
right people
And
love me
I am
unconditionally
surrounded with
and
favor as
bless
a
me with their
shield,
resources. As I solve their problems,
and
I
bless
call
me
forth
with their
money from the
resources
north,
as
west,
I
south, east,
solve their
and
problems.
west of this
I
world.
call forth
I
money from the
fellowship
north,
with
south,
God daily
east,
by
and west
studying
of this
His
world.
Word and praying.
As I
I
fellowship
download
with God daily
inventions,
by studying His
innovation,
word
and
and
creative
praying, I
business ideas.
download
I love
inventions,
God. I know the
innovations, and
purpose of
creative
kingdom wealth.
ideas.
Therefore, I
I
give to
love God and I
unlimited.
know the
I give
purpose
to
of kingdom wealth.
establish and expand the
Therefore,
will of
I
God
give to
here
the
on earth. I
unridiculous. I
refuse
give
to
to
be
establish
complacent
and
to give.
expand
And
the
as
will
I
of God
give,
here on earth.
angels
I
minister
give
through
to
a
people
multitude.
access
The
to
funds
give
and
by
wealth of
me.
Gentiles comes to me
Angels
by the
minister to
favor
and
of
for
God.
me.
My
The
gates
funds
are
and wealth
open
of Gentiles
continually.
comes to me by the favor of
Men bring
God.
to me
My gates are
their
open
resources and wealth,
continually.
just
My
like my
king
father
brings to me their
Abraham.
resources
I'm
and
rich
wealth.
in gold,
Just like
land,
my father
houses,
Abraham,
cars,
I
things
am
money
rich in
can buy,
gold,
and those that
land,
money cannot buy.
houses, cars,
In Jesus' name.
things money
Thank you,
can buy
Father,
and those
because
money
I
cannot
have what
buy
I
in
say
me.
now,
Because
and I am surrounded with
thank you,
favor
Father,
as with a
because I have
shield.
what
I
I say
receive
now.
good
I am
daily. I
surrounded with
receive
favor
daily cash,
as with
good
a
cash,
shield comes
houses.
to
I
me
receive
daily. I
property.
receive clothes, cars,
My
cars,
capacity to
houses. I
build,
receive the wealth
be
of
a
the
blessing
ungodly.
increases daily. I make
My capacity to
manage
be a
multiply
blessing
the money.
increases
I
daily.
walk into my
I make,
inheritance. I
manage,
build
and multiply
transgenerational
money
wealth.
and work
I
for
take
my
over great
inheritance
and flourishing
and build
businesses. I
transgenerational wealth.
minister to which
I take
others have set
over
up. I
great and
acquire
flourishing
houses for
businesses
others'
and
folly,
contracts
wealth
which
that
others
others
have set up.
develop, vineyards
Acquire
and olive
houses
trees which
fully
others
furnished,
planted,
wells with
internet
which others
revenue
have dug,
channels open unto
vineyards
me
and
without
olive
struggle.
trees
I
which
receive
others
the
have
wealth
planted,
gathered and heaped up
significant
in
revenue
favor with
channels
no
open up
weapon
for me
formed as
without
a young
struggle.
adult.
I
A
receive the
nation,
wealth gathered and
continent,
heaped
and
up
the
for
world is
ungodly.
proud of me
As a young
because I'm
adult, my
socially and
nation,
globally
continent, and the
relevant.
world
As
is
a
proud of
parent
me
or
because
will
I'm
be
socially
parent,
and
I
globally
build and create
relevant.
wealth for
As
my
a
lineage
parent or
up
will be
until
parent,
minimum the
I
fourth
live and
generation.
create
I
wealth for my
receive a harvest
lineage up
today
until
of what is sown in
minimum
the
the third
past. The
generation.
blood annuls
I
my
receive a
negative seed
harvest
sown,
today of
and now I have a
fruitfulness.
harvest
The
of
blood
ideas,
announces my negative
favors,
seed
and
sown,
opportunities,
and now I have
open
a
doors
harvest
and
of
blessings
ideas,
according to the
favor,
qualities
and
of the seed that I have
opportunities,
sown.
open
I
doors
receive
and
a
blessings according
hundredfold
to
of
the
such
quality of the
harvest
seed
in
that I have
Jesus'
sown.
name.
I receive a hundredfold today of such
How do
harvest
you
in Jesus'
feel?
name. Amen.
How do you feel?
Great,
Interesting.
great, great, great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for
God
joining.
bless you.
Thank you for staying to the end. I appreciate you. Thank you, Veronica, for moderating today's session, and we look forward to seeing every one of you next week. Thank you, Coach Benjamin, once again. We are like, you are very loaded. I'll go and load it on all OLCA page. These people need to leverage on hey, yeah, too loaded, sir. Let me stop.